Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Rabbi.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are learning Mishna Gittin, Perek Dalet, Chapter 4, Mishna Ches, Mishna 8. Okay. Again, continuing with the different scenarios of a person who divorces his wife, where there is discussion about telling him that if he divorces her, he may not take her back. So we had before somebody divorces his wife because of the rumors of her misbehavior, or because she made a neder, she made a vow, she forbade things on herself. And then we had a case where the man had made a vow that he forbids all the fruits of the world on himself if he doesn't divorce his wife. That was the last case that we had. And in that case, we say, and in all the cases that we said that he can't take her back, it's all to make sure that there's some kind of benefit for society, which the most opinions were the issue that we don't want the husband coming back and making claims that the get was a mistake. Now, Hamaitzi es ishte misham islandess. One who divorces his wife because she is an islandess. Now, an islandess is, as they explain here, a woman whose body is not developed, typical female characteristics, and who therefore cannot have children. That's an islandess. There's specific types of physical characteristics that she does not develop, which is a sign that she will not be able to bear children. Okay? And that is, a person has a right to divorce his wife if she's an islandess. To the point that if he divorces his wife for being an islandess, she doesn't get a ksuba. Because basically we see it at some level as a mistaken marriage. It's not completely mistaken because you need a get, got to give her a get, but ksuba there's not there. Now, so in this case, the person divorced his wife because she's an islandess, and that's what he said. In all these cases, the husband mentions after divorce that he's divorcing her for this reason, because she's an islandess. Okay? Now, the question is, can he take her back? Can he remarry her? Rabbi Yehuda Omer lo yachzer. Rabbi Yehuda says he can't take her back. Now, why can't he take her back? Because there is a possibility that even though, at this point of time she was not developed, which would allow us to assume she's not going to have children, it could come out that she does have children. It's possible. Mm-hmm. It's possible she may have children. Maybe she will develop those physical characteristics. She will develop whatever it is. It's possible that his conclusion at that point of time lands up being incorrect. Well, if it lands up that he's incorrect, and she remarries and she has children, he's going to come to me. He's going to come and say, the get was a mistake. I only divorced her if she was an islandess. If I would have known she was not an islandess, if I would have known she can bear children, I never would have divorced her. And that's going to make lots of problems for her because she married a man without a get, according to what he's saying. Her children are mamzerim, and therefore, according to Rabbi Yehuda, if he divorces her because she's an islandess, we tell him, look, you may never take her back, no matter what. Which therefore means that he is unconditionally divorcing her, and therefore cannot come back and claim it was a mistake. The Chachamim say, no, you can take her back. Why could he take her back? So the Gemara, again brought down by the Bar Tanura, explains that the Chachamim are actually here, although they are portrayed in a plural form as Chachamim sages. This is really an opinion of Rabbi Meir, specifically Rabbi Meir. The Rabbi Meir holds that the difference is like this. He may have said during the divorce, I am divorcing her because she is an islandess. But he doesn't say, and if she's not an islandess, I'm not divorcing her. Meaning he's trying to claim a stipulation, right? If he's later going to go ahead and he's going to say, if I would have known, I wouldn't have divorced her. He's trying to say, I only divorced her conditionally, and the condition hasn't been met. I divorced her because she was an islandess. But now she's not an islandess. But if you want to make something really conditional, according to Reb Meir, you've got to basically say yes and no. You've got to say, I divorce her if she is an islandess, and I'm not divorcing her if she's not an islandess. That's the kind of condition that can really put a condition on what you're doing. But if you don't do that, according to Reb Meir, you may stipulate one point where you say, so for example, in our case, he says, I'm divorcing her because she's an islandess. But you don't say, but I'm not, but you don't say the other side, then that condition doesn't work. It does not make what you're trying to do now conditional. And therefore, in this case, where the Chachamim say, in this case where he did not stipulate, he didn't do what's called Tanai Kafel, the double condition, where he says, I divorce her because she's an islandess, but I'm not divorcing her if she's not. If that's the case, he didn't do that. According to Reb Meir, that's not a condition that can change the transaction, and therefore there's nothing he can come back about and complain and say, oh, I only went ahead and I divorced her because she's an islandess. You never made the double condition. You never said both ways. If you don't make both ways, it's not a condition, and therefore the get's a get. Meaning he can't come back and say she wasn't divorced because she was divorced. He didn't make the Tanai Kafel. He didn't do the double condition. That is why the Chachamim say you can take her back because he can't make any trouble. Rabbi Yehuda does not hold you need that double condition. It's enough just to say I'm divorcing her because she's an islandess. It's self-understood from there that he's not divorcing her if not. And therefore, if he can come back and make trouble and say, I never divorced her, if I wouldn't have divorced her, if I would have known that she could have children. And therefore, according to Rabbi Yehuda, you can't take her back. Can't take her back. And therefore, which means we make him understand and make him divorce her unconditionally, and therefore he can't make any problems. Okay, now here comes an interesting scenario. Nisas la'acher, she married another guy, and she had children. Okay, that means it comes out that she's not an islandess, right? She's not an islandess. She bore children. Okay, now Rabbi Yehuda already said that, okay, he can't take her back anyway. Can't take her back anyway. Fine.
She married somebody else already.
That's not the point. The point is that he cannot, we know he cannot claim that the get's not a good get. He divorced her unconditionally. Okay, so he cannot make problems for her children. But she now comes and she says, she got married to another guy, she had children, v'toivas ksubasa, and now she demands her ksuba. If you divorce a woman because she's an islandess, you don't got to pay the ksuba. But now it comes out she's not an islandess, and he divorced her. So he divorced a woman who's not an islandess. Give me my ksuba. That's what she's trying to do. Oh, my Rabbi Yehuda said, the same Rabbi Yehuda said the get was made unconditionally. We say to her, your remaining silent will be better for you than your opening your mouth here. Then the claim you're making here is only going to mess you up. Why is it going to mess you up? Because even though he said, right, even though he cannot say that I wouldn't have divorced you, even though he divorced her unconditionally, which was, even if she comes out not being an islandess, even if she's not an islandess, I'm divorcing her. Does he have to pay her a ksuba though? At that point of time when he divorced her? The answer is no. Because at that point of time, we see she's an islandess. Okay? Now she wants to come and say, well, I'm really not an islandess. Pay me my ksuba. So now the guy's going to have a new claim. He's going to say, if I would have known that I have to pay your ksuba, I would never have divorced you. Meaning she's creating another possibility for him to claim that it was a mistake. He can't claim the islandess issue as a mistake because that's unconditionally, that he divorced her unconditionally. But he's still going to have to pay her a ksuba then. So now he's going to say, if she demands a ksuba, he's going to say, oh, if I would have known that I have to pay a ksuba, I never would have divorced you. And therefore that would make all the problems again. He's basically saying the get's not a good get. She was never divorced. She couldn't be remarried, and she has mamzerim. And therefore, we say to her, silence is golden. Remain quiet, because if you're going to start demanding more out of this guy, he's going to start making claims that he never would have divorced you if he would have known he has to pay the ksuba, and therefore, keep quiet. Don't make any more claims. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.